Today's video, I want to show you how to apply dual lightning effect to any raster image in Adobe Photoshop. Here in Adobe Photoshop, first thing first, you drag in the photo you want to use. So I'll pick any photo from desktop. So let me use this particular image, drag it in Adobe Photoshop, and then we start applying our effect. So the first thing is I'll zoom in the image so that I could see every aspect or all the portions of the image. So now this is the photo I'm going to use for this particular dual lighting effect. So what I will do first is that you duplicate the image into two by holding Ctrl or Command J on your keyboard. Now you can name this particular layer effect or lightning effect. So let me just name it effect. Then you press enter. So the first thing or the next step is that you move straight to the view on the menu bar, then you set your new guide. So at the vertical side, you set it to 50%, and then you press enter on your keyboard. So this is what we are going to do for on this particular guidelines. So what you basically do is simple. You move straight to the brush preset, you select your brush tool, then go to the preset options and then choose hard round brush. Then you can increase the size of the brush again by toggling this particular adjustment here. You can still increase the size. So let me further increase the size. It's too much for me. And you can also do this from your keyboard by holding on the square brackets on your keyboard. That is also one simple way to come out with this. So now what you do is you go to the foreground color, then you set the dual lightning color you want for that particular image. So in my case, I will be using blue and then red. So you can also use any other color, but I'll prefer using this particular. So I'll set my blue color, and then what I will do next is I'll reduce the size of the brush and then let it match to the end of the ruler. So you just give it a click, then you scroll down to the end of the image, hold on shift on your keyboard, and then you click again. So now this is what we have on the screen. So now what we are basically going to do next is that you have to brush and fill the whole portions of this particular side. So you take your time, then you brush through every portion of this particular side. So you take your time, then you repeat the same process for the other side, but that one you pick red color instead of the blue. So I'll set the color to red, pick my red color, then I'll set it to the end of the guideline, then I'll give it a click, hold on shift on your keyboard, and then you click again. Then what you do is you make sure you fill the whole portion of the image. Now this is what we have. So after this, you can get rid of the guideline by holding Ctrl or Command H on your keyboard. Now this is what we have on our screen, as if nothing is happening, but the image is behind this particular layer we have here. So what you do next is that you go to filter, then you go to blur, set it to Gaussian blur, and then reduce the blur. If your blur is around 5 point something or below that, you can set it more than like 240 to kind of blend the color together. So when you set it to this particular higher value, you blend the color together a bit, then you hit on OK. So to this point, what you do next is go to the blending mode option, click, and then set your blending mode to color. So now if you set your blending mode to color, this is what you're gonna have on the screen. So like what I am basically having here on the screen, this is what you also have. If you really follow the step, this is what you are going to have on your screen. It gives you this natural dual color effect. You can zoom in to see the image. So this is what I was basically talking about, and you can also use this simple method. So let's turn this particular layer off, select our main layer, Then what we do is we go to the adjustment layer and then apply gradient to this particular one. Automatically my gradient, I am having this red color, so I'll set the other part to blue color. So I'll choose my blue color from this particular side. Then I'll set the opacity to 100. So just give the opacity 100, and then I'll rotate the angle a bit. I think I'm okay with this particular format, so that is minus 0.15. Then I'll hit on OK. Then you go to the blending mode option, set it to color, and then this particular option 2 will give you the same effect. So you can compare the two together and look at the one that will give you the actual results you want for your project. So now let me reduce the size of the image a bit, and then you see the difference. So now look at the gradient. So this is the gradient, and then this is the one without gradient, the one that we created a layer for. So now you can compare the two, the one that the effect looks more realistic for you and the one that you are not comfortable with. So you can turn off this one and pick the gradient one, or you turn off the gradient one and then pick on this particular effect. So this is how you can basically apply dual lightning effect in a simple way. There are so many ways for coming out with dual lightning effect, but this is one of the simplest way to come out with dual lightning effect.